The boys are back. Episode 7. Wild. Almost halfway through the season already. It's been a fun one. Not really. How we feeling, Kyle? How we feeling, Dennis?
It's been insanely up and down this year, every single week.
How you feeling right now, this week?
Are you going, Kyle?
I mean, you definitely should beat Arizona. Like, there's no excuse if you lose that one.
Yeah, dude. Like I listen to a lot of radio, like I always do, and a lot of people are thinking, "Oh, we could be 2-5," but I mean, I don't want to look at it like that. I mean, we're 4-3. It's like even if you like subtract like the two like we should have like lost, like you could have like even like add the two like we should have won, so we still be 4-3. Like if you do it either way. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
So-
at the end of the day, it's whatever it says in the WNL column,
Right.
and you just forget about those games. I mean, yeah, I think we're like we've been saying every week. We're it's Wednesday, and we've been doing these more on Wednesday because we don't know what the hell's going on Mondays or Tuesdays anymore. And it's even Wednesday now, and for about a month now, we still aren't 100% sure. If Watson's going to play, what's going on there. I mean, the injury report today looked like a shopping list. There's just, I think it said 13 starters or something on there.
Half of them are rest, though, I believe.
Yeah, it's rest, so you can't look too much into it. But I know there's a couple guys battling, which, I mean, you're halfway through the NFL season, so we're gonna deal with that. But yeah, I think as fans, we're still kind of sitting here wondering, and now we're trying to decide, like, okay, even if he is ready, do we play him? Maybe he needs another week. Maybe he doesn't need another week. But losing that Seattle game is tough because we squeaked out those 2 games before, but I think every game you squeak out without him, like, it gives you so much more wiggle room. So to lose that one late hurt, obviously, and I know Twitter Sunday night was not the place to be. I unfortunately I was on my way on a road trip and my connection was going in and out, so the ending was pretty scattered for me. But the funny part is I didn't even know that he threw a pick on that last 3rd and 3. My stream went out, and I came back on like 2 minutes later, and they had the ball. So I'm like, oh, we must have punted. But I mean, how do you guys feel about that Seahawks game? Do you? I know we don't do moral victories, but do you feel any good that they did fight their way back and did show, unlike Browns teams in the past where we kind of lay down? Does that mean anything to you now? I know. Getting the 2 games before that under our belt, we're 4-3. Do you guys feel positive at all, or we still got our heads up? Kyle, I'll start with you, Kyle. How do you feel?
I mean, one, you can't go down 14-0 and expect to win multiple games in the NFL. It's just too hard to win as is. So
Especially
already
on the
putting
road.
yourself in an early deficit, like you said, on the road in Seattle, tough place to play. They battled back, which is definitely positive to see. Like a lot of Browns teams in the past laid down and would have got blown out by 30. But you can't keep turning the ball over and expecting the same result. Like, your luck is going to run out. PJ keeps playing. I promise you the season is not going to go well.
Yeah, I like that game. I feel like we just should have won. I know, like it was nice coming back from 14-0. Playing in Seattle, like our defense played good for most of the game, besides getting up 14 and then the last drive. But you got to find a way to you got to win that game. Like that one for me stings. I was being a little dramatic on Twitter on Monday, but you got to like wins, because when you have PJ Walker, like when you have like a season you're having, you need wins. So you especially like that, like you can get them any way you can, especially for down the road. So I don't know, like that one still stings for me.
Yeah, the thing about the thing that sucks so much with the defense was like it was the first drive and the last drive was just awful. Everything in between was great. It's like I don't know if the situational. I mean, and then credit to the Seahawks. They're 3rd in the NFC right now. They're 5-2. They're behind the Eagles and the Lions. I mean, you got the Eagles, who are Super Bowl favorites most places, and then you got the Lions, who are kind of ignited this year. But other than that, that would have been another awesome win. It doesn't matter now because we lost. But what's up?
Kenneth Walker had like a 60 or 50-yard run to start the game. And I think he finished with like 80 yards. Not even 80 yards. I think he had 70. He didn't do anything the rest of the game.
No, they didn't. As a team, they didn't do anything. Like it
He
just
had
kind
one
of
play
pulled
the
out.
first drive of the game, and then did nothing. I think they punted 7 straight times.
They did. Like the Browns count even tweeted it. Like
Yep.
we said like seven straight third and outs. Like
I'll pull up the exact numbers here. But yeah, dude, like like we kind of opened this segment with to see a Browns team and it's where you don't want to take a moral victory, but you almost have to. You have to be able to look at your guys and be like, hey, we went down early. It looked awful. We had no chance of winning that game. And then in the end, we still, I know you don't want to put it this way, but we still were the ones who ended up blowing it. Like that was our game to win still. And you got on 14-0 in Seattle. Good luck.
Not to mention, you catch that pick 6, we go up 10. Nobody's even talking about anything.
Man, I'm still sick about that.
I think Cam played awesome, like stepping in, but
He
that
did.
play hurts. And
All
I
right.
know he's nightmares.
Here's no gain. 45, 47. Okay, so the first drive, Kenneth Walker had 47 yards. He finished the game with 66.
That's crazy.
I mean,
That's
the only
insane.
guy who was consistently like hurting us all day was Lockett.
Yep.
And
And he's
I know people have been hard on Greg this year, and he's the slot guy. I don't know. It's hard to, the Seahawks, they have weapons. It's hard to lock down everyone. You're going to get exposed somewhere. And especially when you're running man-to-man. I mean, you could be the best DB on earth. You're not going to win every rep in man-to-man. You're just not. You're at a disadvantage in every way, shape, or form. Position-wise, I mean, the receiver knows what he's doing, and you don't know what he's doing. That in itself is just – and a lot of times you really got no chance.
Yep.
I'll tell you one corner who does deserve a shout out though is Martin Emerson.
Oh, for
Dude
sure.
locked up DK aside from that one catch.
Yeah, like I said, I was out of town Monday, so I didn't even see. I'm about to check right now. I didn't even see PFF grades. I'm assuming PFF graded our DBs like shit because they always do. But
They always do.
Yeah, they always do. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know at the top of your head. I'm gonna try to check here. I know it's
I
probably
do
on my
not.
phone. Yeah, Emerson looked awesome, and then he got that pick like down in the
And
fourth
that
quarter
pick was
there.
a heck of a play.
Yeah, and down in the fourth quarter there, silly me, I was like envisioning like in my head 5-2. I was like, damn, they're really 5-2. That's wild. They're really 5-2. They went and won another game. They did it again.
Bro, I'm sick, man.
Yeah, I know. Dennis, you were taking that one hard on
Dude,
Sunday night.
Dude, it was bro, like 3rd and 3. Like you have the 35th ranked QB in the league. And, like I don't. He stares at PJ, like he stares at Coop the whole way. Like
Right, bro.
he was going there the whole time. Like I just don't get it.
Emerson was, by the way, graded 76.6. That is approaching the great category. He's the 3rd highest player. Miles was 2nd. Any guesses who number 1 was? I don't know if you guys saw any stats. I haven't seen this.
Probably Maurice Hurst.
Kyle, good call. You must have saw it. You cheated. 92.4 grade in 25 snaps. That's
Shout out to Andrew
crazy.
Berry for
That's
bringing him in.
insane.
Oh, well, duh, he had that pick, so that definitely ignited it. Dude, yeah, I don't know what their thoughts are on extending people on contracts in the middle of the year, but you got to keep him in mind because,
For sure.
I mean, if he keeps playing like this,
yeah, dude, and he's like he's a slippery guy. He can do a few different things. He's not just a plug.
wasn't he a 1st round pick or 2nd round pick?
I'm not sure. I didn't know much about him until
He was an early round pick out of Michigan.
Lowest graded player on our defense is Adarius Smith.
Yeah.
Those are
Let's
like
talk about him real quick. He's getting pressure, but he's just not finishing plays in the end.
yeah,
No,
Which
he's
obviously it's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah.
He hasn't made as much impact, I think, as people thought. The first few weeks he did. I think he's been dealing with injuries and whatnot here and there too. And I don't know. Credit to teams for game planning. But, I mean, our defense has, other than last week, people said again, like, oh, the Browns defense was exposed again. Like we said, there was 2 drives we got exposed on. Other than that, shout out the defense. 7 punts in a row to any team in the NFL, especially a team who's 5-2 and 3rd in the NFC at home.
So hard.
Yeah.
It's
I'm giving you props. I don't give
it's
a fuck.
insanely hard.
So,
Again, they needed their offense to go win them the game, and this time they just couldn't.
Yep.
So we're speaking about the offense. What are your guys' thoughts on that 3rd and 3 play call?
It's hard to say it was wrong when you see the guys open, but then people also made that point. Yeah, we had guys open all day. You're just now going to trust him to make the play this time?
Right.
I think it was Kolb or someone said it. The play call you don't have the issue with because the actual play itself and the concepts, guys were open, but it's the guy that you're trusting to execute that play.
Exactly.
That's
bro.
100% true.
Yeah.
And you see that still shot floating around. Oh, this guy's open, but people don't understand. He is 5'10", staring at 6'4" tackles or 6'5" tackles.
Yeah, he couldn't
Right.
see him.
It's not. You can't see it. It's the same issue Baker had when he's here, and Baker's 2 inches taller than him.
Yep. Bro.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dennis. What are your thoughts?
I'm still like defeated talking about it. Like I don't get it. Like
Do you blame Kevin, or do you do you respect that call still, or?
I get the call. It's just with the wrong guy. Like you call that with Deshaun, like any like starting quarterback, but not this guy. Like you're 3rd and 3. I get like you want to like I guess end it or like get. I don't know, bro. Like you gotta know. Like Kevin has to know his personnel. He has to know his limitations. Like this guy. Like he's been staring at receivers all day.
But here's the issue I have with it. 3rd and 3, run the ball so you get 1.5, 2 yards. Then you got another play to get the yard. You got 2 plays to get 3 yards.
Right.
Like that's how you look at it, trying to end the game.
I don't get it. I don't. I still won't all year. It's gonna hurt all year. Like,
yeah. The thing that sucks too is like if they do throw it and it gets swatted down in the dirt, you pin them in their 10 and you just trust the defense. But you give them the ball where you gave it to them, you're already out of whack. The defense is going to be like, oh no, like the momentum was just couldn't be in a worse spot.
Especially in a place like Seattle.
Yeah, momentum in the NFL is the driving force to so many runs and so many wins or losses, and they shot themselves in the foot. It's just hard to trust Kevin because he did up until that play call. I really had no issues with anything. It was such a great game.
I think he called a great game other than those stupid reverse plays that need thrown out of the playbook.
We should have lost that game by 24.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I'm honestly cool if I never see another Elijah Moore reverse ever again.
Even the good one went for like negative yards.
Yeah. I never want to see it again.
Yeah, the flea flicker with PJ Walker. Come on, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah, you're not fooling anybody.
Right. Be serious.
Yeah, do that with Watson maybe, but PJ, you gotta know what you got with PJ, and you got to keep it pretty conservative.
It's like he trusts his guys too much. Like, come
on.
And
I think obviously PJ made a pick, but for the most part, like I'll give him his props. He played pretty well.
Played good enough to win.
Like for a back, good enough to win for a backup quarterback. They were moving the ball every drive.
It's so weird seeing the Browns be in games like this when they shouldn't be. It's just a weird feeling. So to know we dropped one sucks, but like, and then you have to think of it both ways. To know we stole 2 before that is like, okay, I can live with this. But I don't want any bullshit this week.
I don't want to be dramatic, but let's look. You say you win Arizona like you should. I'm not going to say it's an automatic win, but you very well should win this game. The next 2 games, I think, make or break for your season.
You have to split.
I don't think that.
Yeah, you have to split.
You lose both, your season's over. I don't think that's crazy to say.
I will confidently say, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I will confidently say we are not losing to the Steelers again. There's just no way.
I don't think we're going to lose to the Steelers.
There's no way we're losing to them again.
At home? Nope. No, hell no.
How's Kenny doing? Trubisky came in.
He's playing tomorrow.
He's playing again, I guess.
Yeah, he's banged up,
There's no way he's 100%.
Right.
You have one guy on that offense.
They have the one
also,
in the league. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going on with Minka? Like, he could be out weeks.
Their defense is one thing. There's no reason they should come into Cleveland and score more than 10 points, honestly.
Nope.
Dude,
it's just I don't see it happening.
They did just get Cam back, though, and that is really scary because he destroys us.
That's fine. He doesn't throw touchdowns or catch them.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Browns' whole game plan there will be George Pickens defensively. I don't know if Freiermuth will be back or not yet, but he's kind of been underwhelming anyway. Him and Pickett haven't looked that good together.
Guard Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to look too far ahead. Let's talk about yesterday. Obviously, the one move they made was traded DPJ back home to the Lions. Shout out DPJ. Always a class act here. Never had an issue with him. Some people were saying he was kind of on the bunt end of poor QB play, and they're not wrong. I just don't think he's a dynamic receiver, and I don't want to say we're not going to miss him because I'm sure they'll miss him as a teammate. And he plays 83% of the snaps, regardless of what he's doing. Someone's going to have to do that now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, DPJ gone. No other moves made. I kind of have an idea of what you guys are going to say, but I just want to know your thoughts. Like, what was a move yesterday you really wanted to see, and what are your thoughts behind that? Like, why'd you want to see it? Kyle, go ahead.
I mean, personally, I wanted Jacoby. I think everyone else did. It's just even watching him practice, but I said this before we started recording. Until you see him put together 2 really good starts, like you have to see that. We've not seen that in 1.5 years now. So until you see that, like, how can you put all your faith in a guy?
Let me interrupt you real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick, and right in the middle of this point, because I think you're making a great point. We can't give them the benefit of the doubt. People were saying, well, don't trade for Jacoby. We're not even going to need him. That's fair. And in the end, that might be correct. But we can't give them the benefit of the doubt with that. So until we see Watson play soon and play at a decent or higher level, then we will be able to say, okay, they were right in not trading for Jacoby.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead with your point.
Especially when the guy himself has said, I don't know if I'll be 100% this year or if the injury is going to linger. Like, that alone just puts me off a little bit.
It will linger, by the way. It just has to.
More than likely.
It's no way it's going to be 100%.
It's a shoulder. Like, you're getting hit by a Mack truck every time you get sacked.
And quarterbacks have played at a high level with injuries similar to that, but they were still not 100%.
Nope.
Yeah, what about you, Dennis? Are you kind of on the Jacoby train? I know you were kind of in that, looking for a veteran QB, maybe like another receiver to replace DPJ, or how are you feeling about yesterday?
Definitely want Jacoby because I don't trust the Browns and don't trust Watson to know what they're doing. So I didn't know if this was going to linger all year. And if it did, at least we have a backup that can come in and step up if it did. Because I'm sure it's gonna. And this is why I'm still mad about that we didn't get him. I mean, you're not going to get a day 2 pick for him, but it's just annoying that didn't happen.
Yeah. And I think, like you just said, I think we can all agree, we are glad we did not give up a day 2 pick for Jacoby Brissett. We do understand this is a business, and that was not worth it. I know some Browns fans are just so annoyed with it that they were like, I don't care a shit, give it up. You don't understand football. You don't understand anything about how this business works. That's fine. Fan how you want. I'm not going to judge you, but I'm just not going to talk. I'm just not going to entertain it.
The second you get desperate, that's when you lose your job.
Yep. And he was not going to get desperate. And then, Jimmy's showing up at practice now, and Watson reappearing at practice in a way that we haven't really seen, I guess, the last few weeks confidently. I don't know that to be a negative or positive thing. I don't know if they're starting to apply some pressure. I'm sure Jimmy and D Haslam have to be sitting there like, okay, this is getting into a very, very dangerous territory for us.
I mean, Jimmy's got $250 million invested in the guy. Like, if anything, you want your investment to start to show. And obviously, when he's healthy. You're not going to rush him. But it's like, if you're the owner, you're like, like, I gotta see something.
Yeah. So I mean, another question we asked is, well, I'll ask this first. Do you guys think he plays Sunday?
No.
No.
I'm gonna say no. That's 3 no's.
And the thing about today, sorry to interrupt, but the thing about today, there's so many mixed reports. Oh, this, like, one guy would say he has zip, and the other guy would say he just didn't look quite right. And I think it was Jesse Morris, who's the fantasy doctor. Like, he's an actual physical therapist doctor, deals with this kind of stuff all the time. He said Watson just didn't look right. And with the subcapitalaris in your shoulder, that's what you have to drive the ball 25 to maybe even 40 times a game. And if you can't do that, imagine getting hit and trying to do that for a whole game. It's just not going to hold up.
Yeah, I guess the hit would be the scary part because, even with PJ, I would like to see a stat of how many completions he has of 20 yards or farther. It can't be many.
Yeah,
So,
he's got the 1, 2.
Elijah.
I think maybe 4. He's got 1 to Elijah, 1
I
to
should say
Amari,
in air
or 2
yards.
to Amari.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So I mean,
3.
is a hobbled Watson gonna? I guess that's even a dumb question because we saw hobbled Watson come out against Indy and look like he never played football before. So I guess in that case, yeah, it would deter you more than PJ Walker would. But shout out to PJ, and I like the guy, and he seems like a good dude, and I'm sure he's a great teammate. But as a fan of the team, you want to win, and he's not ready for it. I don't blame him. He's not meant to be playing this role, So when he's turning the ball over in crucial moments and you find miracles out of it 2 weeks in a row, you can't bank on miracles every week. We needed a miracle against Sunday, and it didn't happen. You just can't have it.
It's nothing against Jacoby. Like, amazing story. Seems like a great teammate, great person by like all accounts, but it's just not an NFL starting quarterback.
PJ?
Or PJ, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, so let's move to this question. I think it's an obvious answer, but I guess it really wasn't this week. I'll ask you, Dennis, first. If we don't get Watson, who you starting Sunday?
I guess PJ. I mean,
you got it right.
Yeah.
You go back to DTR.
I don't
like that's such a mess.
I don't want to ruin that kid. I like DTR.
No. Kyle, what are you thinking?
DTR, like he's got a good arm, a ton of zip on his ball. Yep. Just like watching him at the combine, but don't throw him out. How many times have we seen a quarterback get completely ruined just by tossing him out there when he wasn't ready? Especially a 5th-round pick.
So, yeah. So in knowing that, you got to roll with PJ, right? Who we all just said we don't even trust to.
I mean,
keep the ball.
It's kind of a lose-lose,
right? Yeah, so then now we can come full circle and see why we're so frustrated that they couldn't make something happen for a veteran quarterback. But if Watson is good and plays, then we don't have to worry about any of that. But again, we don't know anything. We're so in the dark. We have no idea what's going to happen. I've never felt this helpless.
Day to day for 6 weeks. It's got to be a record.
Yeah, it's insane.
And I understand like why they have to say it that way, and it is fully dependent on his pain management and his mobility, and that truly is a day-to-day thing. But
I think it's more week to week now, though.
Yeah, but and to know that, which I fully support them trading Dobbs. You trade Dobbs for a 5th rounder 100 times out of
100%.
Yeah.
But to know you kind of left yourself with a question mark if Watson were to go down, and then to have the chance to maybe rectify that question mark and then leave it again before the deadline. Like now, if say Watson doesn't play this week and doesn't play next week, or comes back and hurts it again, and he's just all right, IR time, and the season's kind of washed. To know that you blew that opportunity twice that's going to be tough. And unfortunately, they're probably going to let it come down to Kevin, which is unfair in my opinion. He's kind of getting fucked over here, and he's coaching his ass off for the position he's in. I don't want to think too far ahead, but I'd like to. I think depending on how bad this season goes down, I don't want to think negatively, but there is a negative side of this. This could end up being pretty bad and a failure. I would like to think that maybe Kevin would deserve another season, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
I said this on Twitter. I was like, they better pray. Obviously you're not giving up a mid-round pick for Jacoby. It's just not happening.
No.
But they better pray this doesn't blow up, because there's some people that aren't going to have jobs after this season if they miss the playoffs.
And who's going to be number one?
Or not.
Probably the head coach.
But Jimmy hasn't had patience. I don't trust Jimmy Haslam to just not be gun shy.
Oh, yeah. Well, how could you?
Like, one, firing coaches, 2, like, obviously I respect him going all in for Deshaun, paying the money he did. That shows Jimmy wants to win, but Jimmy's not going to win. He's not getting any younger. He wants to win just as bad as everyone else does.
Yep.
Yeah. How do you feel about? I know we talked about it last week, but I mean, after this game, have your thoughts on Stefanski changed? Do you still feel pretty good about him, or are you kind of in the middle? Or
besides that play, I still feel really good about him. He he's been coaching his ass off this year. Besides like all the injuries and everything that's been happening last year and a half, I don't think he's gonna get. I think him and AB are gonna get extended after this year. Honestly,
I'm kind of in that same boat.
I don't know if it's a hot take or whatever, but I mean, I could probably be a hot take in Brown's Twitter because they want everybody fired. But
Yeah.
I don't want them to get fired, but I could just see something like that happening.
Yeah, as long as Paul's here, I think that everybody's safe. That's what
Let's hope.
And I think they're so close. It's so annoying that we've had these injuries and shit because, you can't assume a football team's going to be healthy. But if they were semi-healthy, I mean, this definitely 5-2. They could be freaking 6-1. They could go to the playoffs. They could go AFC Championship. They could go as far as they want. And, it would be a shame, in my opinion, if you are that close and then this mystery injury comes out of nowhere and kind of derails the whole season. You just fire the coach and restart again. I don't think that's smart. I think that's very dangerous. That's a very, very dangerous strategy. But like Kyle said, Jimmy Haslam's a nut, and I think he thrives on dangerous strategies. And unfortunately for the tenure of our fandom, he has gone through with them, and it's just been constant turmoil.
And I don't think he obviously doesn't have bad intentions. Like, he wants to win as bad as the fan base does. Every single move he's made financially has shown that.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Browns win. Guess who gets money? Jimmy Haslam.
Yep.
Yeah. He needs some more of it too, so he's desperate for it.
He just bought a basketball team.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we're all on the same page with that,
Let's say one more thing on this while we're talking for.
Go ahead.
I hope he plays this week, but if he comes back in Baltimore, that's just not gonna sit good with me. I don't know about you guys.
So you'd prefer he has a tune-up game then? Because you were playing on the other side.
I don't think he's going to play Sunday, but it would be preferred for everyone that his first game was not Baltimore. Because that defense is going to pin their ears back and come after you.
Yep.
And it's in Baltimore.
Yep.
Is that a Sunday game?
Yeah.
Do we have any more primetime?
The Jets. End of the year, Thursday night.
Oh, you. Yeah, and I mean, even to get him out with the Cardinals, and if he makes a few mistakes, work through them. I mean, I think the Cardinals are a bad enough team to where you can make mistakes and still win a game. I think the Ravens, if you make a mistake, you're probably not going to win.
Right.
Nope.
Especially because they have our number for whatever reason. I mean, they'll beat the shit out of us and then go play the Titans the next week and lose by 30, like stupid shit like that.
Right.
That's the thing that so many people don't understand, and I keep saying it. Oh, just get him healthy for the Ravens and throw him in there. That's not realistic. You can't take 2 months off football and just come back in and play well. For a guy that has not played that much football in 3 years, like, let alone, it's not like you got Tom Brady coming back who has all the mental reps.
Right.
Yeah, that's a dangerous thought process for a fan to have, because I don't think it's realistic.
Like, don't assume it. It's not realistic at all. It's not going to happen.
And you can't sit there and clamor for the guy to come back and call him soft, and then he comes back and he doesn't play that well, and then you hold that against him. It's like, dude,
no,
okay.
You just have to set expectations.
Hey, it would be cool if I should. He'd never say that, but I would almost respect it if Watson came out and said, I'm going to give it a go. I'm to a point where I can. He said, and just plain out say, hey, it's been a minute. I'm going to need some time to work back through, and I know that's annoying for people to hear, and that's frustrating, but that's just how these things go. I'm human. I'm an NFL quarterback, and that's what we go through. And we're going to work it out together, and we're going to win in the end, and that's all that matters. It hasn't been a black and white situation at all, which is the most frustrating part. It's just a massive gray area.
Super.
So, yeah, I mean, you got the Cardinals. Well, I don't even know what the betting line is. I'm sure.
Well, I think a lot of that's going to change whether it's Kyler Murray or Clayton Tune. Like, if you have a fifth-round rookie making his first start versus Kyler Murray off an ACL surgery, 9 months?
I don't know if that changes the spread that much, I'll be honest.
No. Maybe moves it like a point or half a point.
Kyler Murray may be worth a point right now, yeah.
I'm not worried about Kyler coming off.
No.
Right now.
You're going to look slower. You're not going to have the same mobility your first week back.
Right.
Wow. The Browns are -8 right now.
Wow.
So -360. So, I mean, yeah, you should. And the over is set at 37.5.
Well,
So they're
you
assuming
got
the Browns come
Hollywood.
out and win 24-10, let's
You
say.
got Hollywood Brown solid, and then you don't know James Conner, so you got Amari DiMercato. Like that offense just
No Zach
gross.
Ertz.
Yep,
I think they
Yeah.
have injuries on their line.
Yeah, they're pretty
the
depleted.
offense just gross.
Their defense isn't any better.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, you got Marquise Brown. You would think with our secondary, you could limit him.
But I will say that Cardinals team is not just going to lay down. Like, look at Baltimore last week. They got an
No.
onside kick, went down and scored, and took it to the last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they could look better with Tune. You just never know. They could light a
Yep.
fire at him. Yeah, so I mean, you're my 8-point favorites. You should go control this game. You should go win this game, and then you kind of go from there. And it's a strange spot to be in as a Browns fan, looking ahead. Looking at a team like, all right, let's just get this over with. Let's get this easy W, and move on. That's a weird. We're not used to being in that spot, but
They're tanking.
yeah, right. Well, easy on the tanking. Some people don't like
Yeah.
that term. Let's go into some questions to wrap this up. So, we were kind of discussing some of these before, but we like this question by our boy Tyvis Powell. Is Pierre Strong the best back on this roster? I'll start with you, Dennis. What are your thoughts?
I'll go no for now, but he's definitely earned some reps, earned some game time, especially after last week. I feel like he should have got the ball more last week, but after he did so well, I did not expect that. It was so nice seeing him do well, and it seemed like every time he got the ball, he got 6-7 yards.
Yeah, I think I think people are being a little hard on Jerome Ford still.
Same here.
I think Jerome Ford's the best running back on your roster.
Yeah, I agree.
All around. But I think Pierre Strong might have the most potential. That might be silly to say. It's been a limited reps. Let's look. Kareem, and Kareem played well. I don't think he's the best back, but this three-headed monster. We're so used to Nick Chubb being the bell cow. Do it all back. He had Kareem complimenting him a few years, but that kind of fell off quickly. And now you kind of got this. I don't want to call it a monster, but you got this three-headed monster at the backfield. And Kareem Hunt, 14 carries, 55 yards, touchdown. Pierre Strong, 10 carries, 41 yards. Jerome Ford, 9 carries, 37 yards. That's lethal.
But I think Pierre had a catch for 40 yards, didn't he?
He had a 41-yard catch, yeah.
I'll say
Kareem
this:
had a 12-yard catch.
Call me crazy, but when Pierre Strong runs the ball, he's way more explosive than every back on the roster. And it's not even close. You look at that guy run and you're like, cool. I could get used to that. And then you see Kareem's gonna get you 5 yards when you need 5 yards.
Kareem Hunt's gonna get you 5 yards when he should have got you 3.
Yep.
They're
just different backs, but if you need a big play, Pierre Strong is gonna be that guy. To at least give you a chance at that.
Yeah, and he looked shifty too. He was finding holes and he was being wiggly and
his vision, he's cut back a lot of runs where you're like, damn.
He ran
I have not seen that since Chubb.
Yeah. I mean, he ran a 4.37.
Yep. I think it was the best of his running back class.
It was, yeah. I remember
Ford ran a 4.46.
Yep. And Kareem probably ran around there, I would imagine.
Yeah, years ago.
Yep.
Geez, Chubb ran a 4.52. It's so weird because Chubb looks so much faster. I think Chubb's just got the acceleration that other backs
Yeah, he does.
100%.
That other backs don't have. Yeah, he speeds up at a different level. Kareem Hunt ran a 4.62. So Kareem Hunt probably runs a 4.8 right now.
Right.
Honestly.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I'm not going to say he's the best running back, but I will say he's the most exciting. Definitely the most exciting on the roster.
For sure.
Another question. Will Elijah Moore ever be a 1,000-yard receiver here? I'll start that one. I don't think so. I never thought he would when we got him. I just don't know if he's that type of receiver.
I think 800 or 900 yards and let's say 4 to 6 touchdown range maybe. because he's been open. Like you watch the games, it's not from him not being open. You just gotta have somebody that can get him the ball.
I think he is. It's just like QB play is just so inconsistent, bro. Like I feel like he's so open. Like that touchdown, the Seahawks, like I don't know if like Kyle or you mentioned it, Alec, that like where he just dialed in on Cooper and that fade route, that go route in the end zone. Like
Yep.
Elijah ran wide open doing the cross route. He was open.
Yeah, I should. And I said no, but I should preface it with kind of what you touched on there. One of the things that makes me say no now is just the uncertainty at QB. I don't feel as confident about our receiving attack ever, even when Watson's healthy. Like he showed us one great game. I still don't know if that guy's in there somewhere, and no one can say definitively that he is. He can say it all he wants. You haven't shown it. You showed it one time.
That's why the discourse is so dumb. Like, let him prove it. If he goes out and proves it, awesome. But until then, I don't think it's fair to have just blind faith and say, oh, 4 years ago he did this. That's not how the NFL works. Like, you could be like, oh, the Guardians signed Noah Syndergaard. 5 years ago he won a Cy Young. 4 or 5 years is a long ass time.
It is, yeah.
Another question we already covered here. Who would you start, PJ or DTR? I think we're all on PJ there. Why didn't they give DTR a proper chance of starting? I think he kind of did get that chance. Here's a good question. How much concern is there over the defense from the last few weeks? Are we putting too much pressure on them, or is it partly the offense putting them in too many bad situations with the turnovers? I'm not hitting the panic button on the defense yet at all.
I would say the turnovers, that gives you like 3 extra possessions a game you got to go out and defend.
Yeah. I mean, we saw three guys get hurt in one play on the defense.
Yeah, that was nuts.
We need them to be healthy.
We threw 2 interceptions and had a fumble. Like, that's 3 turnovers right there. You can't have that.
No.
Yeah, one of them was not PJ's fault.
No, I'm not worried about the defense. I'm not worried about the defense.
Nope.
I think you have multiple pieces that are stars. I think Joke's going to be a star still. Obviously, got Miles. I think Ogbo could be a star. Martin Emerson is already approaching stardom. Grant Delpit's approaching stardom. Denzel Ward's still a star. Greg could be a top slot guy. Dalvin Tomlinson's a stud. We were talking about Mo Hurst. The way he's stepping up. Jordan Elliott's been playing better than he ever has. Zadarius Smith, you'd like to see a little more. Anthony Walker's playing his role. Taki was missed when he wasn't out there. I still think I still feel good about the defense. You guys still feel good? Dennis feels 100%. Good. Kyle?
Yeah, great.
Yep.
Yeah. Can't ask some of these questions because of what people are saying. This one's kind of I think we're all gonna chuckle at this, but I'll ask it because it's on here. Are the Browns packing it in by being sellers at the deadline? No. They weren't sellers at the deadline. They traded a guy with 9 catches.
They did him a favor sending him home.
Yeah, they really did. It was a favor.
Yeah, I'm sure they talked about it. They're like, cool. If they would have made a surprise trade like Denzel Ward to the Bills for a 4th rounder, that would have been like, whoa, what the fuck? That would have been selling where you're like, all right, are they packing it in? Because trades like that happen with teams because guys, if a team's not feeling confident, you save some money, you get a decent pick. Sometimes you don't even get a decent pick, and you just move on knowing you're gonna have that cap clear.
Yep.
Do you think Watson will play versus the Cardinals? I'd say we're all in the same boat. We're being conservative in our answer, and we don't think he's gonna play. I think we all hope he plays and can go show something. I think everyone wants to see him play.
I think you got to see 2 straight days of full participation, or at least 1 at the very least.
And I'm sure the fear with all of them is, and it's going to be the fear no matter what now, is like, but let's say he does play the Cardinals. That'll be the fear this week is, second drive of the game. He rolls right, turns back left, gets crushed, lands on that shoulder.
Yep.
And he's hurt again. If he gets hurt one more time like that, like you're like, okay, I'm pulling the plug.
Well, here's the thing. Throw the damn ball away. You don't always have to play hero ball. When you got a bum shoulder, get rid of it.
he's gonna have to change his playing style this year for sure.
That's how he got.
He's
That's
going
how he
to,
got.
bro.
That's
He's
how he
gonna
got
have to.
blasted against
But-
the Colts.
But then he's not gonna be. He's just not gonna be the same danger. You know, he's not gonna be the same weapon. So
I get that, but is it worth going out and blowing out your shoulder even worse?
no. But people will need to limit their expectations on what he can do.
100%. Like I'm already at that point.
Yeah, I
You
think
got
we're
to
all.
temper expectations.
I think we're all kind of, low expectations area,
Yeah, for sure.
but not for the
Yep.
team. We still
No,
think
of
this
course
team
not.
can win games. I mean, they just beat the Seahawks in Seattle and lost in the last minute. They won that fucking game.
Yep.
They did. They had it won.
They won that game, bro. They won that game.
That's
Yeah.
why
They
it's so frustrating.
Yeah, and that's why I
They're-
understand Dennis
They're
beat so pissed.
they're arguably 2 plays away from having 2 more wins. Not crazy to say
Against
at all.
two of the top NFC teams. You know.
No, I was counting
um,
Pittsburgh.
Oh, what did you say?
They're 2 plays away from having 2 more wins.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you could have literally nailed that ball in Pittsburgh and would have won.
Yep.
Yeah, and then again in hindsight, maybe you could have ran the ball in Seattle and won. But or you run the ball and we fumble, or you run the ball and get stuffed and you still lose. You just never know.
Yeah.
It could still unfold the same way. It's just, maybe they do run that ball and we get stuffed and then our defense lets them score and people are going to go, why don't you just try to throw? Quit playing conservative. Go win the game. It's a lose-lose situation there.
Yep.
Yeah, but, we're all in the same boat. Like, your 8-point favorites, go handle business. No funny shit. Regardless if if Watson plays or not. What's up, girl? Regardless of Watson plays or not, you go handle business here and you move forward. Like we've been saying all year on here, the only thing that matters is the W or the L. So
Yep.
you leave this weekend with a W and a healthy roster. I don't give a shit what it looks like, honestly.
You
I
could
just don't
win
care.
2-0 and I wouldn't care.
Right.
Yeah. That being
I
said,
obviously wouldn't be happy, but
I haven't really looked. Sunday in Cleveland, high 40s, low 50s, chance of rain. So might be another ugly game, but nothing crazy. No snowstorms or anything that I saw on the weather now.
24-3 Browns.
All right, let's do it. There's Kyle.
24-3, you said?
Yeah.
Yep.
I go 21-10 Browns.
Okay. I said 24-10 at the beginning. I'm gonna go 27-9 Browns. If
Very
Kyler
good.
Murray plays, I'll go 27-13. I'll give him a few more points. I think 27-9 is fair. No touchdowns, a few field goals. We'll probably get a turnover here or there, give them ball in their own territory. They'll 3 and out and kick a field goal. So, yeah, we're all feeling a comfortable win here. Still keeping the vibes high. We're not getting too down yet, but we need to see some results. A lot of talk, not a lot of action in certain aspects. So
Win this week, then your season is quite literally on the line the next 2 weeks.
Yep. And if you somehow drop this game,
You
Fuck
got to
off.
win both. You drop this game, you have to win
Yeah.
both against Baltimore and Pittsburgh.
and we'll assume we'll be back here next week with a 5-3 record and facing that same question, or facing that same issue, I should say. You absolutely have to at least split.
Yep.
Because then at that point, you're probably not going to win the division. Unfortunately, you fight for that wild card and you make some noise. But that's where we're at. Could be in a worse spot, could be in a better spot, but that's where we're at. Get the guys healthy, go out, handle the Cardinals, get a win. We'll be back here next week covering a 5-3 Browns team. Hopefully, looking ahead to a healthy Watson and taking it from there. So, follow the ats down low. We got the page at the bottom. You guys all know where to find us. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. We'll
By
see you
the
guys
way,
next time.
The boys are three straight boosts of hit.
3 straight boosts. We're going for 4 straight, and that's 3 straight boosts without even knowing who's playing quarterback half the time. So I'll take it. Might have to stay on that interception train, Kyle. It's been working out.
We'll drop the link to the BetJack app in this subscription. You boys on the tail.
Yes, sir. Find it all on Twitter, and we'll see y'all next week. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
Go